Hello and welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. What a great programme we've got for you this week. I'm going to show you who's in my green room tonight. You won't believe it. We have a man who is quite simply the most famous chef in the world. It's Mr. Gordon Ramsay, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. He looks better every time I see him. We have an actress, a movie star who's won more BAFTAs than anyone else ever. We've loved doing everything from Educating Reader to Billy Elliot and the Harry Potter films, of course. It's Julie Walters. Have you been watching the football, ladies and gentlemen? Yes! Fresh from Wembley triumph. Yes, we're on our way to Brazil. It's soccer superstar and now author Frank Lampard. Handsome Frank. Looking good, Frank. And we have the greatest football manager England have never had. Mr. Harry Redknapp, ladies and gentlemen. There's Harry. And we've got some great music for you tonight as well. Really spoiling you. We've got music from the one, the only, Mr. Dizzee Rascal. There's a rascal in the house. Repping the East London. Right there. OK. Dizzee, it's great to have you on. I don't know what you've got planned this evening performance-wise, but just before we go any further, I want to point out something. We have a new rule on this show, I'm afraid. No twerking. OK, that's the new rule. Yes, you've seen the sign. But although twerking, do you ever twerk, Dizzee?
I've been behind someone twerking.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sure you have. Because it's worked for Miley Cyrus. She went straight into #1. I think it's all because she twerked at that award ceremony. Okay? But I'll be honest, I didn't even know it was a dance move. The last time I saw anyone do anything like that, my dog had worms and was rubbing its arse against the Chesterfield. Gordon, you're looking good. Gordon Ramsay, ladies and gentlemen, who completed, get this, before he comes out. Gordon has just flown in from the States. He completed the Ironman triathlon this week, didn't he? That's right. Big one. And you know, if ever a man looked like he needed ironing, it was Gordon Ramsay, ladies and gentlemen. But no, seriously, I'm joking there. It is an amazing achievement at any age, but an amazing achievement for a man of your age. Gordon, just tell us, what do you have to do to complete the Ironman? What are the distances required and the skills required?
So, first off, it's a 2.4-mile swim. Wow. Then a 180k bike ride, basically 112 miles. And then a marathon, 42k. Wow.
Yeah. That's incredible. And that's something? He finished it. And I feel stupid because I didn't even know you did home delivery. So it's all the more... I don't know why I'm talking to you in there. Why don't we get him out here? Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring out my first guest. He is a culinary force of nature. It's been said, if you cut him, he bleeds gravy. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Mr. Gordon Ramsay.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. It's always great to have you on the show. But see, we were joking about, but you did. You finished that Ironman trial. That is quite something.
That was a big one.
Why do that, though? Why set yourself that challenge?
Do you know what? I mean, I've ran marathons, ultra-marathons.
Hold it, what's an ultra-marathon?
Double.
Wow, why would you do that? That seems... is that because you get there and you realise you haven't booked a cab home, or...?
No, first of all, I mean, I love keeping fit. I think it's something that every chef should do. And, you know, 4 young children, setting that kind of example to them to sort of eat well, live well, and stay fit. So, Ironman was a tough gig.
And do you... I mean, when do you have time to be with your family? When do you have time to sleep?
Oh, I'd take them with me. Sometimes,
Wow, they must love that. That must
be... No, but they enjoy swimming and they enjoy running, and Megan's into it now big time.
How old is Megan?
Megan's 15. She's here tonight, actually.
OK, wow, she's here tonight.
Yeah, she's here tonight with her boyfriend, would you believe?
Well, hang on. So she's 15, she's got a boyfriend.
Yes,
What kind of a dad are you? Is the boyfriend here this evening as well?
He is, in fact, yeah, AJ, somewhere.
And so she'll be doing exams, she'll be working up for exams, I guess.
Well, that's just it, because they've been spending a lot of time in her room recently.
Hang on.
But revising. So,
well, practice makes perfect, that's what they say.
Not at 15,
Well, I'm not suggesting that, but, I mean, surely, you know, when you were 15, Gordon, when you were 15, and did you have a girlfriend when you were 15?
Yeah. Yes.
OK, and you had a girlfriend. So if you'd have been alone in her room, in the house, while she was revising.
Yes.
Would you have been revising with her, or would you have been blowing sweet kisses onto her neck?
You've just put me in the shit.
Well, you're a father, you've got to think about these kind of things.
Yeah, no, OK, we had maybe a little romantic cuddle. But I suppose what I was trying to say is that exams are coming up and they seem to be spending a lot of time revising. Yeah. And yet the results aren't sort of, you know...
Oh, so she's not going quite as well in the exams, despite the huge amount of time she's spending revising with her boyfriend in her bedroom.
Exactly that. Twins are 13 and Matilda's 11.
I'm sure she's doing great, and I'm sure... And it's nice she's good. You'd like her boyfriend. I'm sure that he's a sensible young man and they're fine. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Just keep your hands to yourself, AJ.
Well, yeah. But that's something. And would you have any more children? Would you like to have a new wave of kids?
Do you know what? I mean...
Because you miss having them when they're little, don't you? You miss the kind of...
You do, but I mean, Tana's looking great. And I think more than anything, you know, we...
No, it sounded like you're saying, finally. You know, it's like...
No, she's always saying to me, there's no way on earth I'm going to get back out in my jeans to have another baby. So you know what they like. Yeah. They get all
also, it's a much bigger deal in a woman's life than it is a man's life. We have fun and then we sit around while they, you know, have to sort of like endure something and then we go, wow, baby, great, I'm off again. Running another ultra marathon, you know.
Yeah,
so...
Okay. No, I mean, 4's done. And the 3 girls and a boy, that's enough.
Your family are partly in the new show you're doing.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Home Cooking is the new show from Gordon Ramsay, and this is on Channel 4. It's kind of lunchtime. This is early for you.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Now, traditionally, when we think of Gordon Ramsay shows, we think of the language being of a certain level of saltiness, a certain fruity vocabulary that you're famous for, and you use very well. But I'm curious as to whether or not it's hard for you to rein that in, because obviously you get... I mean, it's a different sort of show, but still, you're in the kitchen, you're in your environment, you're cooking, things still go wrong. Do you have to stop yourself? Do you have a way of kind of... When you're on the verge of swearing, is there something you do?
Yeah, I rein it in. And cooking at home, you know, it's a lot easier. You haven't got that pressure of critics and customers demanding perfection, so...
But having said that, the kids, presumably, they expect a certain level from you, and if they're quite good, I mean, do any of them think that they're better than you yet, or do they criticise what you give them?
There was a situation last month where we sat down to this amazing roast chicken. It was stuffed with these beautiful beans and roasted garlic, until he put this big piece of garlic on her fork and said, Dad, is this supposed to be burnt? Donkey. I mean, they're on it now. So they know good food from bad food at 100 metres.
And was it Tilly who took the Michelin star away from you last week, or was it someone else?
No, that wasn't very funny.
Wow.
That was in New York, come on.
I think Megan's enjoying that joke now. She
is. Revenge.
So, the family cook, you cook with them at home, I guess, and you have there's a cookbook which ties in with it, and I've been reading through it, and this is a very different sort of cookbook from you, though, I think.
Yes.
Is that fair to say? Because this is much more... Manageable is the wrong term, but it's nowhere near as... it's not as labour-intensive.
Absolutely.
And the end results aren't quite as impressive in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
And also, it's fast stuff. I mean, our household, 7 days a week, is crazy. The diary's mad and it's just all over the shop. So we need to sort of put some big things together within 45 minutes, 60 minutes.
Let's have a look at a clip. This is from Gordon Ramsay's new show. And this is you with your mum, I think.
Oh.
In the kitchen.
And there's another big critic.
And this is on weekdays. It's 5 days a week. It's on Channel 4.
Yes.
It's on just after lunchtime, so it's a very different... It's 12:05 in the afternoon. This is Gordon Ramsay cooking with his mum. It's called Home Cooking. Look at this.
It's a little touch of red wine.
I wouldn't put that in.
Brilliant.
But why the red wine?
Well, because I'm going to make it nice and rich. OK? Reduce the red wine down.
Yeah.
And then start covering your mince with your stock. Now I'm going to bring that up to the bowl, OK? And then get some fresh rosemary, OK? Like a little taste?
Yes, please. Is it hot?
It's a little bit hot, be careful.
Oh, I don't like the wine. Sorry.
There you go. You can't please everyone.
No, she didn't like it.
But there's something in here I've got a bone to pick with. This is just a personal thing.
Please.
You talk about here how to cook a lot of things from scratch.
Yes.
And there's breakfast and stuff, but there's some things, you know, I don't think always cooking stuff from scratch is worth the effort, frankly.
Right.
OK, and I tell you, there's a thing in here you talk about how to make home-make baked beans.
Yes.
Right. Heinz has perfected the baked bean. You are never going to make a better one. I'm telling you this as a fact, Ramsay.
You haven't tasted them, though.
I don't care. I've tried something like that. It's as good as it's going to get. They've spent millions doing it. We all eat it. That's the standard. That's what we want, and that... How disappointing. When you go to a place and go, home-cooked baked beans, your heart sinks just a little bit. Why waste the page in here with that rubbish?
But I suppose you... I I wanted to take baked beans to another level.
Yeah, well, you can't, because Heinz already did it.
Well,
And I'm not being paid by them. They do, and also, alphabetic spaghetti. Don't even try it.
So now, at the age of 52, you prefer tin spaghetti than fresh spaghetti?
Always have done, always will.
My spicy baked beans
Your spicy baked beans...
are to die for. So you'd love them, seriously.
Have you eaten baked beans from a can?
Yeah, when I was 12.
OK.
Yeah.
Well, you want to maybe splash out and buy another one, because they're...
Once you've tasted my spicy baked beans, then you can criticise them. But you haven't even tasted it, so you shouldn't really criticise.
Well, bring some round. I'll try some, but can I tell you in advance? They're not as good, OK? So let's just... Don't even waste your time.
Off.
So rude. So rude. So can't take a little bit of constructive criticism. Anyway, I know you've obviously, you're a mature broadcaster. One incredible career you have in America now, but it's global as well. But you are a huge TV star in America. How many people watch? There's Hell's Kitchen, there's Kitchen Nightmares, there's Hotel Hell. Is that the one called now?
I mean,
they're great shows. They're great shows. Let's have. I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you smile now. I met Jamie Oliver about a week ago.
Right. Why the that make me smile?
OK. You're going to like what he said. He said, because I said, I got Gordon Ramsay on the show, and he said, yeah, you know what? He said, well, he didn't. He was very disparaging about your baked beans. But then he said... then he said, you know what? He has got just a great career, and he said, you know, I'm not jealous of it, but hats off to him. 3 hit shows in America. Congratulations.
That was very nice. Thank you. Very nice.
I thought you might like that.
That's very kind.
Yeah, but I think when people see... Because he's not threatened by you, why would he be? You know, he's better. But he's got...
Listen, if he competes an Ironman, I'll give him... Don't laugh, madam. That's rude. If he competes an Ironman, I'll give him a Michelin star.
OK, OK.
Go on.
Are you allowed to do that? Just take one of your stars and give it to someone else?
I'll do it.
OK. We can't have Gordon on the show without asking him to cook a little something. Will you cook something first before we part company this evening?
You've just slagged off my baked beans.
Well, I don't want you to cook your baked beans.
I would love to.
OK, let's do it. Let's get a little bit of a cook.
Right.
So this is... the book is Gordon Ramsay's Ultimate Home Cooking. You're going to cook something from that for us, I guess?
Yes.
What are you going to cook?
Little mini cofters.
Well, the idea is this is the easiest stuff that we could all do at home.
Straightforward. OK. Right.
I'll tell you, I cook at home a bit.
Ready?
I've got some great recipes. Jamie's last book had some really good recipes.
Can you season them, please?
What with?
Salt and pepper.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I don't think I want to know what that is.
Right,
What is it?
salt,
Okay.
pepper,
Yes, I know what they are.
Okay,
How much do I put on?
A pinch.
On each one?
Honestly, I have forgotten how bad you are. Right. Pan's nice and hot.
Yes.
As it starts smoking, a little touch of oil in there, OK?
So this is lamb that's been
This is
finely
kofta.
ground from the look of
OK,
things.
so it's ground. We've got a little bit of garlic in there, a little bit of chilli, shallots, a little bit of butter, fresh oregano.
How come you've got all that shit and all I've got is salt and pepper?
Because we're going to season them in the pan.
Oh, I see.
Into the pan. Start at 12 o'clock, work your way around, please.
Oh,
no.
don't just throw
One
them
at a
in.
time. No, you don't throw them in.
Well,
they're not baked beans. One at a time.
Seriously, at home, people are just going to go like that.
They don't. 12 o'clock, 1
Yes,
o'clock,
we
2
do!
o'clock.
No one's at home. I tell you what, I'm cooking for the children. One for Algernon, one for
Place them in. Get
Tamara.
your fingers in, get your fingers in. There.
Get your fingers in, it's hot
Don't
in
drop
there.
them. That's it. No, you've gone back to 10 o'clock. Go all the way round, please.
Why? What's wrong
Because
with
they
you?
cook evenly.
Wow, you're very anal about this sort of thing, aren't you?
That's it. Now, from there, a little toasted cumin. Season them lightly.
Hold it, I can't squeeze that one in. Can I squish them together a bit?
Yeah, no, you can go in the middle as well. There's a big
What if
gap
I
in
just
there.
squash it flat, then it will go in like
Bro,
a
if you
sausage?
just wait until If you... No. Now it looks like a penis.
It's fine. Then that goes in there. Now it's like a cock.
As they cook, they'll go down in size.
This is the little hand.
Oh, man.
It's 5 past 2.
Oh, jeez. Right, from there, finger, one thumb, on, and turn it over.
Oh, yeah.
But first, season with cumin first.
Season with cumin.
And then turn them over.
Just a little bit of cumin?
That's it. Thank you.
That smells nice. Smells spicy.
Right, from there, a little touch of garlic on there.
Okay.
Chilli.
That's chilli?
Yeah, chili. I'm getting the garlic now. Chili and garlic.
Wow.
Come on.
You've
quick.
forgotten so much.
Nice. From there,
I think mine are going to taste better than yours.
spring onions next. Spring onions in.
Right. Now with the sauce. No. Fresh mint.
Fresh mint.
In.
A little bit of fresh mint.
Touch
in the
of salt and
sauce.
pepper. Squeeze lemon juice, please. Gently, thank you. Give it a little mix up. Salt, pepper.
Oh, man, that's a hard lemon.
Sorry. A little touch of chili flakes in there.
I haven't mixed it yet. Mix it first or
Yeah, with a spoon, please, not with your fingers. Now, please. And now I'd like you to taste it.
Yeah, I will taste it with pleasure, sir.
Yeah. Now taste. Seasoning fine.
That's off yoghurt.
It's creme fraiche. Come on, don't turn your nose up it like that.
It's not nice.
Right, here we go. A little bit of lettuce.
Yes.
A little bit of cucumber.
Yes.
OK. And then...
You know what? There's a kebab shop just down the road from there. Well, a bloke does this and he cuts it off a giant, like a leg or something. I'm not sure what it is. It's a head, maybe. It's a horse's head.
Don't you dare. There. Right.
OK.
Now taste that.
I'll taste it.
OK, careful. It's hot. Seasoned beautifully. Yeah, it's little...
Yeah.
Come on. Tasty, right?
Have one of mine. Have one of mine, Golden.
I'm a little bit nervous.
Why?
Well, because you've... let me just taste that one there.
They're good.
Yeah,
You know, because I did something a little bit extra special.
a little bit too salt.
Tell you what I did. You know what I put in the mine you didn't put in yours?
Go on.
Love.
No, oh, please.
And that's the ingredient you forget. And that's what cost you that star. Gordon, I'm joking. You are a master. That was unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying thank you to the fabulous Mr. Gordon Ramsay? OK, let's give some more of these out to the folks out there. Thank you, Gordon. You're always a great guest. Still to come on the show, Frank Lampard, Harry Redknapp, Julie Walters will be here, and the magnificent Dizzee Rascal. So join me after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest right out. She is one of our finest actresses who just seems to get better with every film. Will you please welcome the fabulous Julie Walters. People waiting for this.
No, that's later.
Really well done. Wow.
Thank
okay,
you.
You take a seat there.
I
How
will.
lovely. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Last time I saw you, you hadn't let your hair stay grey. You were still colouring the hair.
I was still colouring it. And there is still a little... Actually, there is a bit of it.
But
bit
it
of
looks
colouring.
fabulous.
Yeah.
It's not dissimilar to Gordon's hair. I mean, he does...
Yours is purely natural.
Oh, well, that's how he says. I don't
Don't
think
you
any...
start.
Does it affect the roles you get, though? Do you get offered different parts now that you're going silver and you're...
Well, I've always played old women. I mean,
You have always had those
yeah,
parts
since
of
I was
it,
about
yeah.
35. But now I'm just the right age for them, so it just hasn't really...
You've grown into your kind of, like, performance.
Yeah, I guess I have, really. So... No, but because I've had no face work done, I think I probably get a few more roles than... You know, there are a few more roles open to me than there may be to other people my age.
Is that because they look so weird now? You do see people and they just look... Because they don't look younger, they just look tighter,
It's sort
don't
of
they? I mean,
ironed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, some people look fabulous, you know, but I don't like... You know, I like being 63, which I am now, and, I'm kind of proud that I've got here.
Well, I wanted to ask, because I was thinking... I've always known you on TV. I mean, well, you know, we're not a dissimilar age, but I've always seen you and enjoyed you on television. But I believe you come from the sort of background where that wasn't necessarily a career path that felt open to you. That wasn't kind of...
No, it wasn't.
And you had, like, a proper job for a while, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I was a nurse, but... oh, hello.
There
I am.
Wow, look at you there. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's awful. Stop.
No, you look beautiful. Look at that. Just a young nurse. It's really lovely. That's not Victoria in front of you, though, is it?
No, stop. No, she didn't go into the nurse.
So you were nursing for a while?
Yeah, I was. It was the casualty in the General Hospital in Birmingham. Right. And I'd been sent down there on a Saturday night because I'd never worked there before. It was
Wow, so Saturday night, casualty, Birmingham.
Centre of Birmingham. So it was... Anyway, there was a few... all of that drunks and people coming in injured. But in the middle of the night, a man came in with a longish coat on, walking very oddly. He was a sort of, you know... came in like this, and I thought, oh, dear, he must have injured his back. So I said, are you coming in? Are you all right? He said, don't want to see you, dear. I want to see a doctor, thank you. I said, right, well, I can arrange that. Well, perhaps you'll see the staff. No, I don't want to see a nurse. I want to see a doctor. So I said, well, come to the cubicle. So I took him in there. I said, do you want to sit? No, I'll stand. So anyway, eventually the doctor came and I was standing there. He said, I'd like the nurse to leave. So I went out. Anyway, it turned out that he had the handle of a fish fryer stuck up his bottom.
Wow. A fish fryer?
A fish fryer. The handle of a fish... He had to go to theatre to have it removed. And the doctor said to him, well, you know, how did this happen? Why? And he said, I had an itch.
Wow.
But there were loads of those.
And so you just thought, OK, this is not for me. And so then was acting something you'd already been doing? Had you been doing, like, Amgram or...?
Only in the mirror, only in the bedroom sort of thing on my own.
And so when you told your mum, that must have been quite a big thing.
Oh, yeah, she went absolutely mad. I knew that she was going to get mad. So I got my brothers and my dad to stand in between her and me while I told her. And I said, you know, I'm going to go, what? She said, you'll be in the gutter before you're 20. She said to me, she's right, I was. I rather enjoyed it, actually. It was a good night, that one. And so that, yes, and she said, what have we reared? And, you know...
That's so dramatic.
I know, what have we reared to my dad, poor old dad? And he said, well, if that's what she wants to do, you know, and all of that.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, I knew I wanted to do it. It was like a vocation. It really felt like that.
But then when you went on to enjoy such enormous success, and let's face it, enormous success, global success as an actress, she must have then been proud of you. Did she ever take the time to tell you? Did she have the opportunity to tell you how proud she was? Or?
No, but I knew she was pleased when I got a pension sorted out. That sort of made her very happy. But no, after she died, I found a folder of stuff in her flat, and it was all cuttings, all through my life, you know, as an actor, I know. It was really...
And the early days, when you were in, I don't know, were you in rep? I know you were at the Everyman Theatre. You were
I was in Liverpool, yes.
That must have been pretty crazy back then, because what period we're talking about? Early 70s?
We were wild. I mean, never do... I don't think young actors ever... I mean, we used to do pub shows when I'd drink about 4 pints of Guinness before we started and through the show. And I was only, like, thin as a rake and tight. Yeah, and other things were taken.
I heard... You took LSD before going on stage once?
Well, I wasn't really before going on stage. I didn't realise that I would still be suffering the effects when I went on stage.
So who gave you that?
I can't tell you who's involved. The police might come
but it was
see them or something. But
a party or something?
Well, it was in the bistro at the Everyman Theatre downstairs. There were a lot of old reprobates down there.
Yeah.
And we, you know, they used to come down every night. And this guy said, do you want a bit of malarkey? I thought she was chatting me up. I said, no, I'm sorry. You know, and he said, no, heaven, a tiny piece of heaven. Wow. I said, what is it? And he said, a nice little party all of your own. You know.
Which member of the Beatles was this?
I'm not telling you. Anyway, so he gave me, and he brought out this tiny thing, little teeny bit that looked like a piece of lead out of a pencil.
This would be a dot on a piece of paper.
Yes, you obviously know. And so I thought, oh, go on. I just thought it would be like a bit of fun.
I've never tried LSD.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Was it...
Oh, yeah. Well, I took it. I thought, oh, to hell with it. Took it. And then we said, right, we're going to go off on the town. I said, OK, yeah. And I could see them going, oh, wow, man. It was 1974. Oh, wow. And all this was going on. I thought, oh, for God's sake, I don't feel anything. And then I bent down to do my shoe up, and the world went red. Bright red. Oh, my God. I lifted my head up, and it was sucked back into my head. And everything was normal again. Oh, Jesus. You know, it started.
Wow.
And then we all went to my flat, and I was lying on my bed, and on the wall was a poster of Marilyn Monroe. It was a famous one of her doing this to the camera. And anyway, so I was just lying there looking at it, and it was juddering about a bit. You know, like, it was doing a bit of this. And then suddenly, out of her mouth came her tongue.
Wow.
Only it wasn't like a tongue, it was like a snake's tongue. It was black and forked. And it went all over her face. And I said, look at that, look at that. And they said, what? Well, they couldn't see anything, obviously. It was just me. I remember there were these things, retinal circuses, that you saw. So I thought, oh, that's what it is. Anyway, I took notes and I looked away from it. But out of the corner of my eye, it was still doing even out of the corner of my eye. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Really cheap earring.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a matinee of a children's show the next day. I had to go in and do.
What were you doing on stage?
Pig and the Jungle with, it was a children's show, Brian Patton.
Right, yeah.
It was him, and I played an elephant in it.
I think we have a photograph of you in that elephant suit on stage there, I think. So
That's me.
that's pretty scary. But so that's you in the elephant suit.
That's me. I mean, who needs acid?
I know.
Honestly.
You factor in that you're tripping while you're wearing that.
Oh,
That's about as scary a thought as you can have.
It was boiling. It had sort of gone by then, but it was still a bit odd.
Wow.
Yeah.
OK, Julie's back on the big screen in a brand new film, and it's a true story, and it's an interesting choice for a true story. You play Paul Potts' mum.
I do.
Remember Paul Potts, who won Britain's Got Talent, of course? A great singer, great opera singer, and quite a kind of sad backstory, I guess, when he was a kid.
It's a tale of triumph over adversity, really.
And there's Paul himself, and he is played by one of our finest young comedians and actors.
James Corden.
It's a fun... I saw the film, I loved it. It's got a real heart. It's a very charming story. And, and it touches you emotionally as well. Yeah. So I guess that's the attraction for that kind of film, knowing there's a lovely story at the heart of it.
Yeah, and it's true. It's fairly truthful to his life.
It's out next Friday. You want to see Julie in a lovely, heartwarming film. It's called One Chance, starring her and James Corden. Here's a clip.
Yeah, Paul could get a job at the steelworks. Get a flat of his own. Hard to come by union benefits these days.
I'd sooner sleep under a bridge.
That can be arranged.
No, Paul's going to be a wonderful singer.
Oh, God. Yeah. I thought you two only met this morning.
Nonsense. How can I be his girlfriend if we've only just met?
No, it turns out that all the time we thought he was up there on his computer looking at pornography, he was actually emailing this lovely thing. Look at him blushing now. Couldn't you just eat him up?
You'd need a couple of sittings.
I very much enjoyed it. I thought he was terrific, but I wanted more Julie in it.
Yes, quite right.
Julie, I love having you on the show. I'm so pleased you came back. It's so lovely to see you again. And I loved hearing that. I'd never heard you talk about your mum like that before, and that really... That's very moving. It's really lovely. And you know this better than what else, but she must have been so proud of you.
Well, I think in her own... Yeah, when Educated Rita was... The premiere was on back in 1982, she pushed a policeman out the way and said, "That's my daughter up there."
That's all you need to know. How lovely to see you. One Chance opens Friday night. Next week, go and see it, ladies and gentlemen. Go and see it, if only for the fabulous Julie Walters. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll get your earring. Hold on. So join us for the break, then I'll be talking to Frank Lampard, Harry Redknapp and Mr Dizzee Rascal. Don't go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out here straight away. You probably saw him last at Wembley helping England book their ticket to Brazil. Before he comes out there, let's just see him in action.
Lampard! It's his first Premiership goal for Chelsea. Lampard. Oh, it's a great hit and it's a great goal! Lampard! Oh, wow! That is an absolute beaut from Chelsea's 500 man. What a goal to bless the occasion. Esco on the cynically brought down by Lampard. Yeah, he knows what he's doing there from Lampard. That's the card you have to take.
All going so well. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Lampard. Here he is. Wow. Looking swift, looking good. Come on out, take a seat. Frank's looking good this evening. Good, thank you, very good. Thank you for joining us. Hey, congratulations. What a relief it must be knowing you're through, you're going to the World Cup. What a feeling.
Brilliant feeling. I think it was a really tough week for us, actually. And you know the nation expects and everyone's watching. And I think two great results, really. I'm really pleased for the players and the manager because it was an intense week. And when you get the result, and when you're coming on your show today, I wanted a win behind me rather than a loss.
But a lot of people were naysaying already, weren't they?
Yes.
And that must reach you guys in the team, I'm sure. I know Greg Dyke, who's chairman of the FA, I think, and various other pundits were all saying England might go, they haven't got a chance of winning. Yeah. That's a weird thing to hear them saying, and it must be, I would have thought, a demoralising thing for you and the team to hear.
It's a very difficult thing, actually, because I've done it with lots of World Cups where you go and you're normally on a bit of a crest of a wave where you've qualified, and the press asks you, will you win? And you go, well, yeah, you know, we hope we're going to win. And then the headline the next day is, we're going to win the World Cup. And then when you get sent home after 3 or 4 games, you know, it gets thrown in your face. So I have to say, I think if people do ask the question, it's very good to kind of keep it low. I think we've got a good team, we've got chances, but we keep it...
So actually, having slightly lower expectations is better for you guys going out there?
I think so, because you know what, actually, just talking about it all the time actually means nothing. And I think the lads showed by playing, getting the results is what all that matters.
Let's talk about the new manager.
Yes.
OK, because we have, and not everyone knows this perhaps, but Harry Redknapp, who's here this evening, is your uncle.
Yes.
He's in the green room right now. He's managed you in the past. You've played for him on teams he's managed.
I came through, yeah, basically Harry brought me through at West Ham many years ago now.
So when they were looking for the manager, it seemed to me, everyone seemed to think Harry was going to get the job. Were you excited about the thought of working with him again in that capacity?
Anyone who works with family will tell you the same thing. Father, sons, uncles, nephews and that stuff, and it brings up a lot of complications, probably. And we had a few at West Ham when we were younger, and there would have been a major one with Harry getting the job probably with us, because the minute you're in a team with another manager is fine. When it's your uncle that's picking you, then, you know, people say, because your uncle's manager.
People think it's preferential treatment.
They do. And not to say Harry wouldn't have been a great England manager. I believe he would have been. But, yeah, certainly on a personal note, it would have been difficult. Listen, we would have got on with it, and I would have tried to play my best and see if I got picked.
And on the other side of the coin, would Roy Hodgson... Roy, let me correct that, pronounce that properly, because I was trying so hard to get the R in Roy that I messed up. I don't know why I bothered, because he doesn't put the effort in. OK, so... would Roy Hodgson make a good uncle?
He actually would. Roy is actually a very, very nice bloke, generally, and that's always the thing with managers. You see all the match things and the training ground thing, but I always judge a person first on how they are as a bloke, whether you can talk to them. Especially as I got older, you talk more on a level, and he is a very, very nice bloke, so he would make a great uncle.
Here's the thing, Frank has another career going on right now, and these books are selling great, aren't they, as a children's author?
Yes.
Frankie's Magic Football was the first one, and then there's... that was actually with the Rowdy Romans.
Pirates was first.
The Pirates was first, then the Rowdy Romans, thanks for that title, and then Frankie versus the Cowboys Crew. That's the newest one, yeah?
Yes.
OK, and so these must be fun to do.
They're a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of hard work. I mean, I basically came up with the idea a few years ago now, and I think towards the end of your career, you do look down different avenues, what's happening after football, and I thought the time was right to try something different. And I've got 2 little girls, and I was watching cartoons, reading books to them at night, and I thought there was an opening for a football-based sort of adventure stories, and I've gone for it.
But it's sweet. There's a little girl who plays football in the books as well, so I guess you're thinking of yours when you...
Yeah, and my girls actually aren't mad on football, and I try my hardest, but we know when they're not mad, so, you know.
Now, let's talk about your personal life a little bit, Frank. Because you're engaged to the beautiful Christine.
Yes.
OK, Christine Bleakley, ladies and gentlemen. Who, how long have you been engaged for now?
Since 2011.
2011, OK,
yeah.
so that's 2 years?
2 years.
Heading towards 3 years?
Yes.
She's getting to kind of a long, you know what I mean, a long engagement. I read somewhere that Christine said that she was happy for you to organise it.
Yeah, that's only where she watches that TV programme where the men...
Don't tell the bride.
Don't tell the bride, yeah.
Is that because no, but is that because she's genuinely happy, or is it she thinks, why doesn't he hurry up and do something, you know? Do you think there's a...
No, it's not, because the men always choose ridiculous, you know, venues and all these things.
Where would you go?
Well, I would trust you, Frank, to do it and all that.
Where would you go if you had to do it, if you were organising it?
Have
you put no thought into this yet?
I just don't want to give much away.
Well, OK, give us a rough idea.
No,
would it be in the UK or out of the UK?
Well, I'd have a decision to make on 2. I would either do a beautiful UK wedding, the old school that you kind of grow up kind of dreaming
in
of.
an English church somewhere?
Yes, without a doubt.
With a white dress?
Yeah.
Something for the bride,
all
lovely
the traditional things. Yeah.
Or you would go?
Or I would obviously go. I'd probably go abroad and do something like maybe Italy would be somewhere in Europe I'd look at, but I don't know, somewhere sort of a bit exotic other than that, I suppose.
And dressed as stormtroopers or superheroes?
No, so that's where they always go wrong. I saw one the other day with aliens. They were dressed as aliens in a bomb shelter. And
Yeah, but come on, those photos are gold in years to come, aren't they?
True.
Well, listen, we have Christine's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Here she is. It's the lovely Christine Blinkley. Hello, Christine. How are you? Looking beautiful. She's gorgeous. Okay. So, Christine, let me ask you, would you seriously let Frank plan the wedding?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. He tells me when to turn up, what time. I'm very, very happy with that. It saves me any hassle.
And would you let him choose your outfit?
That's the problem.
Maybe I'll do that. He can do everything else, though. I'm very easy. I'm very easy with it.
But can I don't want to pry too much, but obviously it's great for us if you would give us some information on the show. This year, next year? Just give me a date and we can move on.
Well, it's going to be next year. Our season goes through till...
Yeah.
After the football season ends?
This is the thing. Hopefully, if fingers crossed I'm in the World Cup, we would like to do it after that.
It's a lovely thing you're doing. These are great, and I wish you continued success. Good luck in the summer. I'm sure you'll
Thank you very much.
on the squad. And you'll do as well as you can do in the circumstances. Christine, thank you for joining me. Mr. Frank Lampard, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you. Thank you. A lovely guy. Still to come after the break, we have Harry, Redknapp and Dizzee Rascal. One will be chatting, one will be rapping. I still haven't decided which is which. Join me after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest straight out of here. He's one of those rare things in British football, a manager who's more popular with the fans than a half-time pie. It is Mr. Harry Redknapp. Good job. Harry, you're looking dapper.
I'm OK.
You're looking dapper.
Jamie dressed me.
But doesn't he look great, ladies and gentlemen? You look like a made man out of Goodfellas. OK, so let's get this out of the way so we can talk more about your life and stuff like that. I was just talking with Frank about the England manager job. You looked like you were the favourite, you were well in the frame, and they passed you over. You must have been disappointed.
Do you know, John, in all honesty, the night that they announced the manager job, you know, I was in a difficult situation. I was at Tottenham. Tottenham were going great. We're in Europe, and the club was, you know, the team were excellent. And then suddenly the England thing came along, and, you know, it was a difficult decision. I thought, you know, I was getting pushed towards it. People kept talking about the England job. The night they announced it, I'll never forget, I was sitting in my car. It came on the radio, and, you know, as a news flash, Roy Hodgson's been made England manager. It was almost a sense of relief for me. It wasn't something that I was absolutely crazy about, in all honesty. I was quite happy at Tottenham. The unfortunate thing was I lost my bleeding job at Tottenham a couple of months later. Other than that, it would have been good. So, but the choice they made, and I'm not just saying it, they made an excellent choice. Roy is a good coach, an excellent coach. He's been around the coaching scene a long time. He's managed at the top level. And I think he was ideal for the job. I really do. And I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Would you have done it differently? Would you have chosen a different team?
No, I was, you know, he had to play Frank, obviously.
Of course, you have to do that.
He got Tommy's uncle. I brought Jamie back out of retirement.
Get the whole family in.
Yeah.
Get Louise out there.
On the bench.
But he used to get some stick, didn't he, from the West Ham fans in particular.
John, it was...
Because they assumed there was favouritism, didn't they, I guess?
He was... Listen, I don't know, I did I used to go to the fans' forums and people said, why are you playing, why is Lampard playing, or whatever. He was a fantastic young player. He had the best attitude, not because he's here, the best attitude of any kid I've ever come across, or any player I've ever come across since I've been in football. I've never seen anybody, well, I have only seen one person train as hard as him, and so determined to be a fantastic player as he was, and that was his dad. And that's where he got it from. Yeah. The old man was incredible, trained morning, afternoon and night, and the kid was the same. So when people used to criticise him, I said, listen, he's going to be a fantastic player. He'll play for England one day. Yeah. And I was spot on.
Wow. Let me ask you about football, how it's changed then, before we get on, you know, so much to talk to you about, but back in the day when you were in your prime, OK, the money being paid to footballers was very different to the kind of money a Premier League footballer gets today.
Yeah.
What were you getting? What was the kind of...
Well, we started off on £6 a week, up to £7, then it went to £8 a week. But
So when it went to £8 a week, did you think, wow, I've really hit the
well,
big
I mean,
time?
we used to go coaching in the afternoon. We had a manager.
There's a picture of you there back in the day.
That's later on. I was at Bournemouth then.
That's when you were playing for Slade as well, isn't it?
I was at Bournemouth there. No, that was like after West Ham.
Yeah.
That was 10 years after.
And half-time, you're all out the back having a cigarette as well?
Having a cup of tea, yeah. Probably Greavesy, Jimmy Greaves. I mean, one of the greatest players ever to play football. Jimmy Greaves, the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen. Jim would have a fag in the toilet at quarter to three. Without fail, he'd have his suit on still, he'd go in the toilet, he'd have a fag, come out, take his gear off, didn't have a stretch, didn't stretch a muscle, put his boots on, stand by the door shaking his legs like that a couple of times, go out and score a hat-trick. And that was like, oh, well, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Wow. Wow. Those were the days.
Yeah, different world.
Harry's got a book out. There's a day of the year called Super Thursday, I think, when all the big Christmas sort of movies come out. This came out last week. This is the one that sold the most. Did you know that? Your book has sold the most of all?
It's gone to #1.
There's Harry's book. It's gone to #1. It's called Always Managing.
Yeah.
It's a great book. And you talk about not only your footballing career, but also the big tax case. There was about the time that the England manager's job was up there. And I was wondering, it doesn't seem to be the case, but do you think that was one of the reasons why they didn't offer it to you? Were they worried that there might be some heat of that? Or that you might be
John,
not available for a couple of years, if you know what I mean?
Well, I was thinking about if, you know, if I could train the team in Dartmoor or somewhere, if it happened, you know, I could keep them fit. But, no, I don't think that had anything to do with it, really. It was after the case and Capello had resigned and the job was open and I was cleared, so... But I don't think that had any effect on it.
But that must have been a pretty horrible thing to live through.
Yeah,
I guess
it was.
You don't know which way it's going to go.
No.
So you must have worried. You must have been concerned.
Absolutely. I had 5 years of it hanging over my head, you know, over something that we were talking, you know, it is a large amount, for sure. But in comparison to what I'd paid over that 5-year period, it was, you know... So it was a case, really, it should never have gone to court, but it did. And it lasted 15 days. And, you know, the downside, when I asked my barrister the night before the jury came back what would happen to me, and he, you know, if I'm found guilty, and he said, you will get between 2.5 and 3 years.
Wow. So when you went back to court, the day you go back to court to hear the sentence, presumably, if they'd found you guilty, that's it. You go downstairs and that's it. So
Probably,
did you say goodbye to people? Did you say goodbye to your wife?
No, I didn't want to. No, I never wanted to put into Sandra's mind that could happen to me. I didn't tell her that, you know, that I could go to prison. I was worried that, you know, who you're going to share a cell with. All these things go through your mind if you're found guilty. What kind of a nutter am I going to be stuck with here? You know, it's a frightening thought, but. You know. So you're still enjoying managing? Yeah. But in managing, am I right in thinking it's one of those jobs where everyone's sitting at home in their armchair, everyone thinks they can do better? Yeah. But is there one time, I guess people think they can play as well, isn't there some sort of, you actually bought a fan or someone who was screaming insults behind you and you actually bought one to play? Yeah, I took a team to Oxford City for a pre-season game. I was manager of West Ham. And, you know, it was a lovely, sunny evening. And we started the game, and there was a guy next to the dugout, big West Ham fan. He had hammers tattooed on his arms, and he had the earrings in, hammers on them. And he started after about 2 minutes. Harry said, we ain't got that Lee Chapman up front again this year. We ain't going to get a decent striker. He kept on about Chapman all first half. He wouldn't leave me alone. What's he doing, Harry? He's useless. Why are you playing him again? Anyway, half-time, I made 5 substitutions and put the subs on. It was a friendly game. So the subs go on, got no more subs. After 2 minutes, we get an injury. So now I've only got 10 men. So I turned to him, he's still shouting at me. I went, oi, I said, can you play as good as you talk? He said, I'm better than that Chapman. I went, come on then, get your gear on, we'll have a look at you. He went, what do you mean? I said, you're playing. He said, who for? I said, well, West Ham. He said, I ain't got any boots. I said, what size are you? He said, 9s. I said to Eddie, the kit man, Eddie, get him a pair of boots. Takes him up the changing room. He gets changed. He comes waddling back. He's got feet like this, right? Skinhead, tattoos everywhere, earrings in. Gets to the touch, he's coming on. He said, where do you want me to play? I said, go up front. I said, I want to see if you're better than Lee Chapman. Yeah. So he goes on. Hold on, this was just, you just had it with him, just giving you the... stick all through the game. Time, So he's gone on. The guy comes down, true story, from the tannoy system, the assistant, comes down, he wants to announce on the tannoy who's coming on, so the people know who's on. He said, Harry, who's the sub? Who's number 16? I said, who's number 16? I said, ain't you been watching the World Cup? Chichi Shaev, the Bulgarian striker. He went, oh, I thought it was him. And he came on, played up front. He came on, played up front, scored a goal. And I've got to be honest, on the night, he was better than Chapman.
that's great. The book is a great read. Always Managing is Harry's autobiography. It's out now. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much. You're a terrific guest.
Thank you.
Harry Redknapp, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my final guest of the evening out. He is, without doubt, one of our most exciting musical talents. Please welcome the one and only Dizzee Rascal. Looking good. Even that, come here. Even the shoes. Come on, sit down.
Oh, man.
How are you, Dizzee?
What's happening, mate? What's going on?
Dizzee, let's ask about what you've been doing now. You're back here in the UK. You've been in LA for quite a long while, haven't you?
I was in LA, I was staying in Miami, I was all over America, but yeah, I'm back here now.
Recording or holidaying? What were you doing?
A bit of both. I was holidaying in Miami a lot.
Wow.
And
it looks
LA.
to me,
I was working too.
The look on that face, the memories that came up then, you had a pretty good time.
Trust me. Yeah.
I've never seen someone smile so quickly. Yeah. What were you thinking about when you went Miami?
Listen to the album, it's all there.
Okay. Yeah. So big parties, lots of new young friends.
Plenty, yeah, a few of that.
Because you're a single man.
I'm a single man.
No sign of settling down at all at the moment.
I thought about it a few times. Yeah, I've come close.
Because I met you with a nice young lady once. You came around, I saw you with a nice young lady. She was a very nice young lady.
That was fun. Yeah.
Oh, okay. She just wasn't the one. She wasn't the one yet.
She wasn't the one. She's lovely though. She's still in my heart though.
How many are still in your heart right now?
I've got a big heart, man.
Well, that's a lovely thing to hear, and it's nice. It's nice, man. It's good. Okay. So you had some wild times in America, though, or are you fairly calm?
I wasn't doing LSD or nothing like that.
No.
But I've had some good times out there, partying, just hanging around with people and that, and again, making music. I've met some interesting people, man.
Well, you met Quincy Jones, didn't you?
I did meet Quincy Jones.
One of the greatest music producers of all time, of course. And was he producing you, or you just met him?
No, I met him at Nicole Richie's birthday party. I got introduced to him by Nelly Hooper, who obviously...
He's a great producer as well, yeah.
Amazing, yeah. And he said, Quincy, this is Dizzee Rascal. He's from Britain. He's done really well in the music industry. And I heard it. Music industry is dead. Said, all right. he was just going off on what he said. It's all about cell phones, China. I said, what? What's cell phones, China?
Was he drunk at the time, do you think? Was he?
He was sitting there calm. That's how it was. And then he said, you're not listening. I said, right. He said, why did God give you 2 ears? I said, why? He said, so you can listen.
He sounded like he didn't sound like he was one of his best days. He was.
No, he was. He was actually trying to school me, and in the end, he was right. Because cell phones in China is the thing.
Quincy knows what he's talking about. Okay, he's the man. Apparently, I don't know if you heard this. Apparently, this may well be the kiss of death. Apparently, David Cameron is a fan of yours.
Who's that?
Okay. And apparently he said that the Queen was a fan of yours. Did you hear this?
I love that. I heard about it. I don't know if I believe it, but I love that.
Have you met the Queen?
No, I've met Harry and William.
You met Prince Harry and William, and they're nice boys?
Yeah, Harry's he's a lad, isn't he? But, they're both cool.
Okay, in what way? What does that mean?
He's cheeky, isn't it? He's cheeky.
How did that...
I was at, I can't remember, it might have been Wireless or something like that in Hyde Park a couple of years ago. And a friend of mine who's I know him as a promoter and that, he came back to he said, Harry wants to meet you. I said, oh, who's Harry? Prince Harry. I said, oh, shit, all right, like, cool, like, safe, like, all right, bring him in it. And then I was in the dressing room and he came round, he had a couple of his people with him and that, and then started a bit of banter and that. He goes, so how long are you going to be on, Dizzee? I said, I'm going to be on like an hour. I said, we've got to listen to you for an hour. Like, it was a bit like, yeah. And then there's a couple other things like I said it to him because I knew he was bad. I said, if you weren't royal, I'll punch you in your face by now. And then he went and did it again. And everyone went,
That's probably the best impersonation of Prince Harry I've ever seen. I've got to be honest with you. The new album, The Fifth, is out. It's been out for a little while now. They've had a few singles. But this new single, the one that you're going to do this evening, Love This Town, that's the anthem on here.
Right.
That's the big
tune.
That's the
one that kicks off as soon as people hear it.
Do people love that when you do that one live?
Yeah, whenever I've done it. Because I've been doing... playing the music a lot this year, especially, like trying it out at festivals and big shows and all that. And that one's like the one that gets everyone up on the shoulders, singing crazy, jumping around, throwing piss or whatever they do.
Dizzee's going to perform live for us right now, and this song is huge. It's a great sound. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to love this, but will you join me in saying thank you to Mr. Dizzee Rascal? Great to see you again. You go get yourself ready over there. Thanks to all my guests tonight. Next week, I'll be joined by X Factor judges Nicole Scherzinger, Gary Barlow and Louis Walsh. We've also got funny man Stephen Merchant here, Britain's greatest tenor Alfie Boe, and supermodel Naomi Campbell will be chatting to me, as well as the beautiful and talented soul singer Laura Mvula. She'll be performing live. But now, we love this town. Let's go crazy for Dizzee Rascal!